when you look at the structure and you look at all the markers and you realize what you need is an advisor, but that's not what the client wants. The client wants someone who's fully embedded. But you can see fully that someone fully embedded also is going to cause other issues. And what you really need is the advisor.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean that comes up even in the consulting world, right? You think they need one thing, they think they need something else, and you have to come to some level of agreement. So what I've done in the past is, again, another example, client software company had a CRO in place, technically was great, culturally was terrible, just blew the team up. So they let this person go, and they needed an interim fractional CRO, but I knew that they needed that advisor role and they needed the embedded role for a short period of time. So what we
Right.
did was I came in as a fully embedded CRO for 90 days, and that allowed them to, allowed me to sort of like calm the troops, put some systems and strategy back in place. And then after that 90 days, we had a plan for me to find my full-time replacement, and then I would step back into the advisory role. And it worked out perfectly well. We got a great permanent CRO in place. I sort of mentored him because I'd already figured out what's going on in the business. He hit the ground running. I sort of stepped back. I actually stepped over more into the marketing side of the business, but it was good compromise because it made sense. So sometimes you have to sort of meet the client where they're at. And it's also how you structure the agreement too, and the guardrails of what you do and the amount of time you're committing to a client will dictate. They may think they want a full-time, fully embedded fractional, but they don't have the budget for it because it can get expensive. But it's still far less expensive than a full-time employee.
Oh, yeah. Let's not look at it on the other side, though, Dean.
Okay.
Right? So we looked at, I'm going in and I can see this client and I'm making an assessment. What happens when you're already in and you realize, okay, you really needed an advisor or you really needed someone fully embedded? I would assume that if you were an advisor and they needed someone fully embedded, that's probably a harder transition if you don't want to be fully embedded. Yeah. But how do you handle once you're in and realize I'm in the wrong seat?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big believer in having consistent open dialogue with my clients. Sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's not so. But if you establish that open communication, build that trust, you can come to, usually it's the CEO, right? If you're at that level, you're working with the CEO, and you can share some observations. And many times they will also come to the same conclusion. So it doesn't have to be this hugely awkward thing. You just come up with a plan for some kind of transition. If you're already at your capacity with other clients and you can't take on that fully embedded role, that full fractional role, then your job is to help them find somebody that can. That may mean that you lose the gig completely, but it's still the right thing to do for the client. And I believe things come back around.
And, I think that's a nod, Dean, to where we started in this and understanding that this is about relationship. And as a fractional, your relationship is different because you're in a place where you have to care about the future, the values, the culture of this company as much as the company does. You are a part of the company. We want to help you. Find us on our LinkedIn. Okay. Link down below. You look us both up. Ask us questions. We want to talk. We want to help you. As always, he's Dean. I'm Atiba. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.